what are we making? Look at this, replica little arcades. This has come a long way since the Maker Faire. If you were there, this was a wooden box in a dream, and we got all the art and everything we needed, and it's a thing of beauty. So, what are we doing? We want to provide arcades to people at a lower cost than you would find trying to buy one, say, used, new. We're catering to individuals that want this in their home. This machine is capable of playing 60 games. It's locked down to Galaga now, just for simplicity. Businesses, pretty much any business where you'd have to wait. No one likes to wait, so say the mechanic or a laundromat, things of that nature. We're also, if you look over there, there's my business partner, Paul, and he made that SkyMech game out of an existing cabinet. He spent a lot of time doing it, and it's also beautiful. You can't tell that was a game from, what, 1976? 78, a couple years. But yeah, so indie developers that are going for that retro feel, you know, Minecraft is the biggest game in the world right now, and it looks old. So imagine some of these indie developers getting their own cabinet. Boom. So out of that, we're getting lower cost because there's very little maintenance. They're available. If you're actually looking for a machine, good luck, because the industry, pretty much the saying goes, you can't buy a working machine. People want to hold on to them. You can buy broken ones and hire people like me to fix them up, but that's about it. So what are we doing to fulfill those needs? That's a quarter-size replica. 60 games, mentioned that. And all these parts are pretty available. We're able to just swap in and out everything in there. Smaller size means one person can carry it. We proved it at the arcade I work at. The dolly's $400 just by itself. Brooke and I just hauled this up on a cart all the way from Generator downtown, where it lives, when it's not traveling around. And briefly, yeah, my job is to fix and maintain games at the local barcades. If you've been to Tilt or Archives, there's a 100% chance that I've fixed the game that you've played, and you know, if it wasn't working properly, it's also on me. And that's kind of what we're trying to fix, is these things are, what we're making are incredibly easy to maintain. You don't have to have a technician. We'd be able to talk you through any kind of repairs over the phone or just send you a new part. Also customization. We're making miniature versions as well. Ooh, on the back we have room to put in like backpack straps. We're also working on, yeah, it's for real. Imagine rolling around and then your friends, you know, playing this on the back. Make a great Halloween costume, anyone? Also coming up next is network play. So these games are capable of being networked. Imagine Champlain College getting their own version and with colors of, say, Pac-Man or anything, but suddenly above it flashes, oh my God, UVM or St. Mike's has a higher score. Everyone rush down and play. Like, that's never happened before. We can do it. The infrastructure's already there. Also, dual video output, stereo jacks, all kinds of things that make these cooler and better than what you're used to. And what you're used to is this warm, fuzzy feeling, this nostalgia you have of walking in the arcade and just getting to play this. Do we have the other mic? So, I mean, this is absolutely a work of both Paul and I, and it's a frigging perfect replica down to every single vector line. Some we had to reproduce. This is 18 inches across, so you don't lose that feeling of a full-size cabinet, even though it's tiny. So many slides. So obviously, they're portable, cheaper. Instead of buying what is technically now an antique, you're getting something that will last. You know, I'm fixing games that have lasted 30 years. So Imagine buying a new one now. No one's currently catering to the indie market. I mean, we've seen some one-offs. I mean, SkyMech is a great example, but there's no one actually going after developers, and we probably have a lot here working on student projects, and Paul's got an ongoing thing because of SkyMech and the popularity of it over the summer, that they're going to be doing that every year for the senior classes. If you want to monetize these and licensing, we swap out that 60-in-1 board and make it a dedicated cabinet, same price, which you're wondering what that is, $1,000 for something similar to that. And the only add-ons for a business would be the ability to lock it down, like literally to something, so people can't just walk away with it. I mean, if you're running a 24-hour laundromat, you don't want to leave these open. As nice as Vermont is, you know, definitely want to bolt it down. I mean, I wouldn't steal it, but I want this, and it's owned by the generator, because we're also, that's one of our biggest strengths, is that we've reached out to local businesses. If you ever heard of Sticky Brand, boom, they do that. We're going to buy a whole roll from Sticky Brand, a whole roll of vinyl. If we need to go for tougher materials, say you own a business where people might try to stab it for some reason, we got polycarbonate on the control panel. No, seriously, people get nuts when they drink and play games. The generator gives us access to a unique makerspace. Our team is myself, Paul, Brooke, but we've had work with the CNC. This is CNC milled. This isn't our production model. This is our prototype. We have a production model with all the slots ready to go. Bang, boom. It's going to be much quicker, much faster. Oh my God, I have so much more to say. Industry knowledge, pretty much unparalleled. I think I have the most experience in Vermont, especially right now, fixing and repairing arcade machines. I have personal contacts within the industry. I can get any kind of joystick I want, any kind of weird thing I want. Overnight 3D printing for pinball parts, I've done it. Yeah. So what's next? We need people that are very skilled with business and can guide us through this kind of initial step. I mean, we talk about traction. We kind of got this like bike with studded tires ready for winter. You know, just let us take it out. You know, $4,000 is great and all, but I think what we have is the mentorship of the year. So, questions?
This will take questions. Do you want the handheld mic?
I'm going to have Paul come up here and help me field some questions and get in the spotlight. Maybe I can find a spot
Dave,
where
we'll start with you.
it's not so bright.
Love Galaga.
Haha.
You got me. But so buy the $1,000 thing. What's it cost you? And how does it? If I was to put this in my business, which this would be a good product for, free service? Do I make a little quarter slot like the old days? They throw a quarter in, they play. How do I make money?
Killer question. If you want this for profit and not an attraction, all we do is add a coin slot. You can, or tokens. We could add that too. Absolutely. All those parts are readily available. The difference is what you're kind of maybe asking or getting to, I think, is licensing. So this is a 60-in-1 board. It's already good for home use. You can bring this home, play all those games. If you want to lock it down to Galaga and monetize it, what we do is include an old broken Galaga board. So that goes into fair use, and if one of the copies is working, you can play this one.
And
that's what arcades do all the time. Sorry, Paul.
If you did want to monetize it, there are sometimes local restrictions to that, and that depends on your town. You usually just buy an amusement license for the specific machine, and you're okay to make money on it.
Yeah, I mean, and Galaga, Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Frogger, all of those have come out with recent boards on their 25-year anniversaries. So instead of the board, we would give you that. And then
Do you have to pay Galaga and Pac-Man? And are they allowing this?
No, you own the board, you own the game. We sell you the board with it, and it's all the same price. We just take out the 60-in-1 and make it dedicated. Galaga, for example, is a $40 board. Frogger, 20. Miss Pac-Man, 20. Really popular games get cheaper and cheaper, especially broken ones. Next.
More, Salon?
So you mentioned moving from CNC one-offs to more of a production line. Is that something you're
ideas of how or where you would do that, or is that just
Absolutely.
online?
No, that's pretty much ready to go. Paul, you want to talk about the CNC work you've been doing?
So we're, at least right now, we're not looking to move directly to other businesses, but we have a CNC production where we can just have someone, we can hire someone, they can sit with a CNC and just let it run. And it takes like 10 minutes to cut the entire thing.
Also pre-finished wood, so we don't just have to paint it all, you know? And now that we've gotten the supply chains kind of hammered out and those contacts we need, especially local for the art, which is one of the biggest costs, vinyl stickers that actually last, we're pretty much ready to go. We can zip out all the square parts on a bandsaw, CNC for the nice curvy parts. I learned how to use a router, that was really hard. But Paul talked me through it, you know? We have a great team and a lot of support, especially from the generator makerspace. So we have expertise in every area, including silk screening. It's gonna save us a lot on the side art, especially for more simple designs, or you know what I'm saying. Pac-Man has less colors, so duh, that's gonna be easy to silk screen. Same with Frogger. Galaga's a little tricky, but still. You know, once we order a roll from Sticky Brand, they just will give us everything we need.
Judy and then Dave.
So, you might recognize that I'm not the demographic or psychographic.
I don't know that.
No, I think it makes sense for at businesses. That makes sense to me, but I'm a little confused as to why a home gamer person would want this other than all the other things that are in my basement.
So there's a large portion of it, it's nostalgia for a lot of people. On the other side of things, I've seen lots of people's kids run up to this. We brought it to events while we're doing other stuff, and the kids aren't interested in anything else we're doing, but they're on this the entire time, and their parents can't get them away from it. They're still appealing to modern audiences, and I've seen lots of people who search high and low for these old arcade machines because of nostalgia or because they want their kids to play them. And those are the people that we're looking to get these for the home market.
Yeah, so to piggyback on that, I mean, we're hitting that nostalgia, those feelings of, you know, my age, older, that have played these in arcades and might be in barcades now. Archives doesn't allow kids all the time. So what if you had one of these at home? You could share it with your kid. That's a way to bond over games that you may not like or get into otherwise.
Dave, I had you next.
From a licensing perspective, you said the only real cost, you buy these boards, and that gives you the right to sell a machine with somebody else's graphics and names on it? I mean, I'm not, if you get big, isn't somebody going to come knocking on your door?
Well, this is...
The copyright for Galega, or Asteroids, or Miss Pac-Man, you know, it's got to be more than just the cost of that board.
No, not for home use and not for a business. Like, I work in barcades. There's no court case, there's nothing. There's one from Ultracade. There's a company in Chicago, and they pretty much were doing some shady stuff, adding things from Capcom, Nintendo, some weird license. They lied to a lot of people, bankruptcy got tied into it, but it's a lot different. And that company was bought out and is currently making things as well. So we're not the only ones doing it. There is competition, but we do it better and cheaper and faster. No one has access to this rapid prototyping stuff we have. It's just kind of bonkers. What do you think, Paul? What do you think?
Well, the licensing for arcades was handled differently and still is differently. It's when you purchase it, you have it and you can make money off of it. It's not a, you make X amount of money on it, you need to pay X amount of money to the company. I'm not sure if that answered the question. Or?
Yeah, so basically if a board dies, where I work right now, instead of trying to do board repair for something that is just going to break over and over and over, they just slap one of these in and set it to Galaga. You don't even know if you're playing a new board or not. Like, I watch people, they can't tell. And this happens all the time in every barcade, everywhere. I mean, these boards are being sold on Amazon. Anyone can do this, but like I said, we're doing it better. And we're first to market, at least in the area.
So we're out of time. Thanks.
Oh man, Doug had a question. Doug had a